This is our first annual gathering of the Women's Collective. And our hope today, our intention today is to bring everyone together, create an opportunity to say hello, to connect in with members of cohorts that have been through sessions with us. But a big part of what we want to do is to share what has come together as an initiative, as a collective, and the plans we have moving forward. And Nicole, I'm going to hand it to you. She is going to kind of walk us through, and there's different components that we want to share.
And maybe I'll just do a quick overview of the beginning. I started at MakeWay mid-pandemic, or the start of the pandemic, I guess, in September 2020. And when I came on, Joanna and Tatiana had been talking about, creating this kitchen cabinet, which I kept calling kitchen cupboards. And they're like, no, cabinet, like political, hello. It's like, okay. And it was such a beautiful space and way to connect. It was an intergenerational group. Annie was there, Lena was there. Yeah, it was about 12 of us, I think, 12 to 15 women who were meeting, I think, once every 3 weeks on Fridays. And like, it was, I was saying that I felt kind of guilty taking that time to, spend it connecting with women instead of, working on the long to-do list that you never get through by the end of the week. But I always left feeling really inspired, connected. And then Women and Gender Equality Canada put out a call for proposals for, hey, women working in gender justice, climate action, if there's any projects you have, let us know. And so we thought, well, is there a way that we could expand this work and use the ingredients that we had as part of the kitchen cabinets to support more women in this space? And so we were successful, and this was in receiving that funding. So that's a little bit about the background and the how it's been evolving, how it came to be.
And we're really focused on feminist leadership working at the intersections of climate action, gender, justice, and care. So how do we support, Chanel, please, if I can hand it to you, just to walk us through the components of this collaboration.
Yeah, so I feel like Nicole did a super good job kind of introducing each of these components, but I will go into a bit more detail. So it kind of started with the webinar series, as we mentioned. It was an 8-part series. It was a super powerful and moving 8-part series that really focused on amplifying those voices in system change. And if you haven't watched it, I'm going to drop some links in the chat, and one of those links will be the webinar series. And then each of you were part of a peer learning cohort, which was a groundbreaking and important experience that I went through myself. And I was very lucky to go through it early in my career and connect with people who have more wisdom than I do. And so their System Sanctuary is actually launching the next 2 cohorts. So if you do know anyone who's interested and you think that would benefit from that experience, that now would be the time to reach out to them. I'll also give the link to the registration in the chat. And then, as we mentioned, this is the first annual virtual gathering for the Women's Leadership Collective, and we will be having a face-to-face gathering in the summer. So we'll have an opportunity to get together, hopefully at Soul of the Mother Lodge in July. So there'll be more details to come on that as well.
Like, our dream is to support more women who, with a little bit of time and space, and the ability to focus on, care for self, that it could make a huge difference rather than being burnt out, or just quitting or leaving because you physically can't do this work anymore. So that's one. The other component that we're starting, we have a small grant fund, which last week when the partners were together talking about intentions for the year, we were around a sacred fire, and Tara Lynn started talking about the embers of what could come up from just by supporting women in different ways who are working in these spaces. And so I'm like, yeah, Embers Fund, that feels about right. And so we're going to be launching what's called the Embers Fund next week. We'll post all the information up on our website. Basically, it's small grants for up to $20,000 for whatever work, like women doing this work that are, trying to advance innovative climate solutions, working at the intersection of care, justice, healing. The other thing I guess to say about the Women's Leadership Collective is that it's not like owned by any, like it's almost a platform for us to be supporting and elevating each other's work. And so if there's anything that you're doing that's cool that you would like elevated, or any other organizations that that would be amazing to participate, like we're open and inclusive.